Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the CISO Corner, where we talk about everything security and compliance. I'm Dane Dittemore with DataBank, and I'm joined by our Chief Information Security Officer, Mark Haupt, and our very special guest this morning, David Aviv, Radware CTO and VP of Advanced Solutions. David comes to us today from Tel Aviv. He lives in Tel Aviv in Israel.
I'm sure the question that a lot of people have on their minds, because it's forefront in the news right now, is how does artificial intelligence play into this whole new DDoS attack or thought process? Is AI a factor in DDoS, and how does that play in?
Yes, well, in general, we see the phenomena of weaponizing AI. AI is being weaponized. So everyone is, attackers and the bad actors are using it. We do see plugins right now of plugins that use to poison different AI engines in order to be able to scrape. And the most important, when we talk in, let's say, if, for example, in layer 7 DDoS, one major fact is being able to understand the structure of your website. If I know the structure, I can build a targeted DDoS attack, a targeted tsunami attack. So it almost looks like a legit transaction in order to confuse your tools,
right?
The defending tools. So we do see the fact that attackers are using that kind of plugins in order to scrape, like legitimately, supposedly the site, because it comes from an OpenAI IP address. And guess what? You are not going to block any OpenAI address as the strategy. And by that, scrape your site in a very intelligent way to learn, understand the structure of your payloads, your headers, your paths, your cookies, etc., in order to smart craft an attack.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, or give me some insight on this. I don't hear you saying that AI itself is going to automatically or auto sensing launch an attack. It still requires the human aspect. But what I do hear you saying is that AI is going to significantly, and does currently significantly, amplify the attack and make the attacks much easier for the attacker to generate, and much more intelligent in their generation. Would that be a good summation of it?
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. And this is only the first phase.
Yeah.
Because the next, remember, AI, ChatGPT, let's say,
right?
Generative AI is in our life only from last November.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
you see, within less than a year, we're almost talking now to the second generation, when you can download OpenAI, tool set. Nothing will keep the attacker to use it as an attack tool as well.
Right. So how do you view, or what's out there from a perspective of a defender, but looking at the red team, if you will, looking at the bad guys that are out there? What do you see coming in next generations of AI? Is it still going to be an amplification attack, or is it going to be AI itself deciding when and who to attack based upon social criteria or geopolitical criteria? Is it going to have a mind of its own and go wild, or is it still going to just be an amplification attack from human injection?
Well, this is an excellent question. And frankly, to be honest, it looks like it, from theoretical point of view, all directions that you pointed out will be possible.
Okay.
To what extent it will be unleashed in the wild, I don't know. But definitely, groups that are behind those tools will try to coordinate it based on their motives. So it's a financial one, a political one, a religious one. Very easy to train the tools to do the things what you are after.
Okay.
So I would say It will come. It definitely will
Mm.
come. It will scrape. It will understand, and then it will unleash the attack based on the D-Day and the decision behind it.
So what you're saying is, well, and we're certainly not trying to scare anybody. We're just kind of doing a little bit of foretelling here. But what you see happening is in future years, an AI tool will have been trained to have certain keywords or certain functions. Like you were just talking about a few moments ago, the attacks in Israel regarding, I believe it was Rosh Hashanah, right?
Yeah.
And so what you're saying is that in the future, an attacker may train AI, set it aside. They may train them, let's say in December, set it aside, and then it automatically kicks on in September when Rosh Hashanah occurs, and it will then go scrape the environment, scrape the world out there, define and determine who the attacks will be against, and launch the attacks from that perspective.
We'll be able to run targeted attacks, based on intelligence, precise intelligence, and this is what's scary.
Mm-hmm.
This is what is scary, because not only is after now, as you mentioned before, it's not only after flooding your pipes. Now it can also flood your business logic, because it will understand the links, the paths, and the parameters needed to starve the database pipeline internally.
Right.
We'll know to craft that kind of attack, which will choke the internal backend. So suddenly you can see that the web front end is working correctly, but suddenly the backend is choked.
Right.
So you see there is so many options for attackers here. Mm-hmm. And we need to redefine the first line of defense.
Is how do we use Radware's services and software to protect our clients?
Great question, and I'll introduce to you what we use at DataBank, what we resell of Radware's, and then maybe David can give just a quick understanding of those. So we offer a couple of DDoS protection tools. One is an on-premise device called Defense Pro, where for very large enterprise customers, it can be a dedicated hardware device that's put into the customer's environment, whether that be managed services or co-location. But typically it's in a co-location type of customer, which is a large portion of our business. We also have cloud-based DDoS protection, where we can shunt the traffic or route the traffic through the Radware DDoS protection tools out in the cloud before it even reaches the DataBank network, which is an incredible tool to help us protect the environment, and for not only for our customers, but also for DataBank itself. So it's a good partnership between DataBank and our customers as we move forward. And then not necessarily a tool that is utilized for DDoS, but as David says, some of these additional web application attacks are coming on. We also offer a second Radware tool that will focus on that layer 7 web application firewall and web application security that David was talking about. So we can put all of these on as part of an architected environment from the very beginning when a customer comes into DataBank.
If you're listening and would like to be notified when the next CISO Corner podcast is released, just click the subscribe button and notification bell on the YouTube channel. And if you have a topic that you'd like Mark and I to cover in the future, just drop us an email at CISO@databank.com. That's CISO@databank.com. And that's a wrap for today. As always, be safe and stay secure.